Winners and losers of the week and what to look for, and drop the other topics, at least for now, then take your questions. And again, if you want to ask questions about the Fed pick, David will be here to help answer. So with that, Kevin, winner of the week.
So my winner, speaking as a Democrat, was Doug Collins. He's an old friend of mine, sparring buddy. He's the head of the Veterans Administration. Really good guy. He testified before the Senate Veterans Affairs Committee, fielded a lot of questions from Democrats on abortion policy and the rollout of reforms. This is a guy that has, he's an '06. He's a former colonel in the Air Force, and I believe strongly in terms of what he's doing. I might get grief from the Democrats, but a lot of people promised to reform the VA, and he's actually doing it. And had a hell of a hearing. Again, we talked about Marco Rubio and how great he was before Senate relations, but I think Secretary Collins really won the day this past week.
It's impossible not to like Doug Collins. Impossible.
Amen.
It's a likable man. Larry, winner of the week.
Great choice. Former podcast host, too, by the way. I love it when podcast hosts.
I was on his podcast. It was a great show.
Yeah.
My winner is Tom Homan. Tom Homan came in and just took charge of everything in Minneapolis and really turned that narrative around by about 180 degrees. And it's kind of funny considering a couple of months ago he was vilified by Democrats, but now they're even sort of embracing his presence in Minneapolis and that press conference.
I also want to remember
yesterday. Take a look at this part in particular.
Where were they the last 4 years? When the number of women and children sex trafficking went all-time high? Where were they when 250,000 Americans died from fentanyl coming across the border? Where were they when women and children are dying making that journey? Where were they when over 4,000 families making that journey died? Historic record. Where were they? Not a word. Now we're just trying to respond to what happened the last 4 years and keeping this country safe.
It was such a masterful performance in resetting this narrative back to the original problem here, which was the 4 years under Alejandro Mayorkas. And also he brings this level of empathy to caring for the people who are victimized by open borders, those people who are exploited by coyotes and during that horrific crash. A masterful performance. He's hands down the winner.
And I will say too, he made concessions that they don't get everything right all the time too. I think that conciliatory approach, to Larry's point, it was really important as well.
I agree. He's my winner as well. Kevin, loser of the week.
Loser of the week are Republicans in Minnesota. They were all on a high. With Tim Walz saying he wasn't going to run again. Numbers were plummeting with that crisis of corruption in St. Paul. But here comes Amy Klobuchar, released a 4-minute announcement video. She's gonna rule the day, win by double digits in that state, and keep it blue for Team Blue.
Larry, loser of the week.
Dick Durbin. He took to the Senate floor to grandstand over the shooting of Alex Preddy and try to make political hay for it. And I understand all things are fair in politics, but he put up this picture that has been widely ridiculed all week and was discovered easily as an AI-generated photograph because look at one of the Border Patrol agents. He literally doesn't have a head. And he used that picture as an example of how horrible Border Patrol is, and it was a complete and total fake and fraud, and only a loser would do something like that.
My loser of the week is Guardians of the Status Quo on having the real-world effect policy. So many people just want to use Minnesota for political gain, to raise money, to get on cable news, etc. And I think what's happened now is that we're going to have a serious debate about what ICE policy and practice should be. And serious people are discussing it, and there's still politics involved. But those who want to just use this for politics, I think, have lost. Okay, Kevin, what to look for this weekend?
So this is a little inside baseball. It's DC Mardi Gras week going on right now. My voice is a little hoarse already from activities. There's a big party on Saturday. And it'll be interesting to see the delegation at play now, since Julia Letlow announced that she's going to challenge Bill Cassidy, the senior senator from Louisiana. She's got the backing of President Trump. So it'll be interesting, the dynamics at play while everyone is throwing beads and masked up at the Washington Hilton. I will report back some of the dynamics that I see.
Larry.
Interesting. Yes. I'm not allowed to say the snow, but I am looking to see if
No
DC
weather.
can
No weather.
No
dig
weather
itself
for this one.
out. So instead, I'm still watching the funding fight. It's going to go down to the wire on how this thing happens, whether Graham caves or not, and whether they reach a larger deal before on the DHS stuff. Being a DC person, that's what I'm watching.
Okay. Put up my picture. This is, as best I can tell, the last time George W. Bush and Donald Trump were at the same event together, at least known. This is at H.W. Bush's funeral at National Cathedral. This weekend at the Alfalfa dinner, Donald Trump attends for the first time, and I'm told Bush 43 is supposed to be there as well. My only regret is that Barbara Bush won't be there because the Secret Service would probably have to hold her back. Anyway, I look forward to hearing about, I'm not going to the dinner, but I look forward to hearing about whatever interactions there are between those two men who don't see eye to eye on everything.
They say that something that's easy is like a walk in the park. Well, easier than a walk in the park, hit the subscribe button, be part of the two-way community, never miss an episode, be part of our conversations. Thank you for your service to America.
And don't forget, you can now listen to the morning meeting and Two-Way Tonight on Apple, Spotify, or wherever you get your podcasts.